Hello, welcome to More Yoga with me, Emily. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you were well today and ready to get a little bit fiery, just a little bit. We're going to be doing a slow, progressive flow today. So, what does that mean? It means that each time we go through the flow, which is like a vinyasa or plank to the floor, to a back bend, to downward facing dog. That's the flow. Each time we do that, we add on an extra pose. And the first time that we add on, we will take a few breaths, settle into it, and really feel the pose. And the next time that we add on, when we switch sides, or rather, when we come back to that side, that pose will then just be part of the flow. We'll be faster, and then we'll add on and keep building. So at any point, please feel free to rest if you want to rest, child's pose, or maybe downward facing dog, or maybe sometimes you skip the vinyasa part and just go back to downward facing dog or child's pose for a couple breaths, catch your breath, and then join us on the second side. I'll talk you through it the whole time. Shouldn't be too complicated, but it will be a little bit fiery. Okay, before we start, props. Props are useful, particularly today. It'll be nice to have a block for underneath your hands or a chip foam block for kneeling if you need it. Okay, now let's start. Let's move into child's pose. So either knees wide or knees together, and then drape your torso to the floor. For a few breaths here, inhale through your nose. And exhale, sigh your breath away. Couple more. Last couple breaths. Take the moment to shut off your brain. Your brain is what got you here. Now it's time for the body to take over. And then slowly press yourself up to hands and knees. Little wiggle, or shake, or even cat and cow for a few breaths. Move however you need to move. Mobilizing through the shoulders and the spine. And then when you're ready, come back to center, hands nice and wide, fingertips spread wide. Start to grip the mat with the fingertips, tuck your toes, exhale, lift your hips up and back into your downward facing dog. So we're going to be in down dog quite a few times today. So maybe let's start to get into it a little bit more. So pedal the heels toward the floor and bending one knee and then the other. Maybe you sway your hips from side to side or even rock the weight forward and back. And make sure that the weight isn't so much in the heel of the hands. You're almost trying to send it into the finger pads. Hug the upper arm bones toward each other. Knees can be bent here. Mine are. Your heels might never reach the floor in downward facing dog, and that's totally fine. One more breath here. All right, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, walk, step, or hop to the top edge of your mat, standing forward fold. Feet hip width apart, so when you bring two fists together, they can fit between your big toe mounds. If you want more support, rest your elbows on your knees or thighs. Maybe you move and sway here. Maybe you're still. And taking these moments to send all these cues to the body that we're going to be in this position a good few times. So get used to it. And then release your hands
Bring your fingertips to your shins or the earth. Inhale, little partway lift, belly button to spine. Exhale, let it all go. 2 more. You can sigh or flutter your lips. And then bend your knees, head heavy, arms heavy. Slowly start to roll up to standing. 1 vertebra at a time. As slow as you need to go until you come all the way up. Couple loops of your shoulders, up, back, and down. Our little wiggle, our noodle. All right, hug the legs toward each other. Little draw of belly button to spine, shoulder blades on your back. On your inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky. Maybe follow with your gaze. Exhale, melt to the earth. Forward fold. Fingertips to shins. Inhale, little partway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Plant your hands. On your inhale, step back to your plank. So the top of a push-up. You could be on your toes. You could be on your knees. But the arms are extended here. A little buoyancy in the elbows. Press the floor away from you a little bit more. Squeeze the bum. Squeeze the tops of the thighs. And then exhale, come all the way down to the floor. You can always come down to your knees first. A little wiggle of the hips from side to side once you get there. Untuck your toes. Tops of the feet press into the earth so much so you feel your kneecaps lift away. Send your tailbone to the back wall. Belly button to spine. Shoulder blades on your back. Inhale, reach the heart forward and up. Baby cobra. Exhale, lower back down. Couple more of these. Hands could hover, or maybe you press them into the earth a little bit more. Last breath here. And then plant your hands, tuck your toes. Exhale, lift up and back to downward facing dog. You can always transition to hands and knees, or child's pose. You don't have to press up through the push-up. Knees micro bent in down dog. Hug the upper arm bones toward each other. Bend your knees. Look forward. Exhale, walk, step, or hop to the top edge of your mat, standing forward fold. Fingertips to shins. Inhale, little partway lift. Exhale, fold. Charge your legs. Inhale, sweep all the way up to the sky. Exhale, right back down to the earth. Forward fold. Inhale, little partway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, plant your hands. Inhale, walk, step, or hop back to plank. Exhale, lower all the way or partway to the earth. Inhale through baby cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. On your inhale, lift your right leg high, three-legged dog. When you look back, make sure the toes are pointing to the floor rather than out towards the right. Inhale here. As you exhale, draw the right knee to your nose, shoulders over wrists, hips high. Inhale, back up. Exhale, right knee to right armpit or elbow, hips high. Inhale, back up. Exhale, draw the knee across to the opposite side. Inhale, back up. Exhale, knee comes to nose, and then pause here. Can you lift the hips up a little bit higher? Exhale, step your right foot to your thumb, and then pause here. Okay, here we go. We're starting to build our set. So look back, wrap the back heel to the floor for warrior two legs. So front toes point forward, back toes are slightly turned in. Hug the legs toward each other. Inhale, come up to warrior two. Go ahead and bend the back knee to start with. Stick your booty back, get a little wiggle on, a little shake, maybe some hip circles. Right? I told you, we get to ease into things for a few breaths each time we add a new position. But then start to sink into that front knee as you supercharge your back leg towards straight. We're going to be going through warrior two a lot today, so let's set it up properly. When you look down, can you see your big toe inside the front knee? If not, you can even wrap that front hip back and to the side, and then gently float the arms up.
You don't have to shift the torso forward, right? The shoulders should be stacked over top of your hips. And then hug the legs toward each other as if you're on ice skates. You don't want to press them away. One more breath here. All right, exhale, windmill your hands to the floor, pick up the back heel, plant your hands, step back, flow, or downward facing dog. I'll call out the flow. So plank, exhale, down to the earth, inhale through baby cobra or upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. On your inhale, lift your left leg high, three-legged dog. Pause here. Again, when you look back, can you see your toes? Flex them to the floor rather than out to the left. And on your exhale, draw knee to nose, shoulders over wrists, hips high. Inhale, back up. Exhale, left knee to left armpit or elbow. Inhale, back up. Exhale, draw the knee across to the opposite side. Inhale, back up. Exhale, knee comes to nose, and then pause here for a couple breaths. Exhale, step your left foot between your hands, and now pause here. All right, wrap the right heel to the floor, either heel to heel or heel to arch alignment, back foot slightly turned in, hug the legs toward each other. Inhale, windmill up to your warrior two. And then again, right away, bend your back knee, stick your booty back, get a little wiggle on, a little shake, some hip circles, maybe you sway from side to side. And then start to shift into the front knee. Again, make sure you can see the big toe on the inside of that front knee. You can always think of spiraling that front thigh out and back. Hug the legs toward each other. Inhale, float the arms up. One more breath here. On your exhale, windmill the hands to the earth. Pick up the back heel, plant your hands, step back, flow, or downward facing dog. Adding on. On your inhale, lift your right leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. Wrap the back heel for warrior two. Inhale, come up. One breath here. And then inhale here. Exhale, reach the upper body forward. Side angle pose. So you can hover it out here if you want to, or maybe you bring your front elbow to your knee or a hand to a block on the inside or the outside edge of that foot. But think of spiraling your upper left ribs open to the sky. Top arm could be up to the sky, or it might sweep over the ear. This is more intense, but strangely easier on the shoulder. Let the hips sink. One more breath here. Inhale, back up. Exhale, windmill the hands to the floor, step back, flow, or downward facing dog. On your inhale, lift your left leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, step a foot between the hands. Wrap the back heel to the floor for warrior two. Inhale, come up. One breath here. And then exhale, reach the upper body forward. Again, for side angle. So maybe you choose to hover it out for a few breaths, really working the obliques. Or you might bring the front elbow to knee for more support, or any other variation while we're here for a few breaths. Spiral the upper right ribs open to the sky now. Top arm can go wherever it needs to go. Make sure the hips aren't lifting though. Sink into the front knee, sink into the hips. Last breath here. Inhale, back up. Exhale, windmill the hands to the earth, step back, flow, or downward facing dog. All right, adding on. Inhale the right leg high. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. Wrap the back heel for warrior two. Inhale, come up. Exhale, reach the upper body forward. One breath here, side angle. Inhale, come back up, and then straighten through the front leg. Spin the front toes to meet the back toes for a wide leg forward fold. Inhale here. Exhale, come forward. Okay, so a few breaths here. This is where blocks start to become really useful, to bring them underneath your hands. You might need to play with the width or the distance between your feet here. Maybe heel and toe it out wider or narrower, but make sure your heels are wider than your toes. And then wherever your hands are, make sure you're not pressing the feet away from each other. If anything, can you think of hugging them back toward each other? That will give you more stability. Knees can be deeply bent here. They do not need to be straight. One more breath here. Okay, a little micro bend in the knees. Start to spiral or wrap. Walk the upper body back to the top edge of the mat. Plant your hands, step back, flow, or downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. Wrap the back heel for warrior two. Inhale, come up, warrior two, one breath. And then exhale, reach the upper body forward, side angle pose for one breath. Inhale, back up, straighten the front leg, and then spin those front toes to meet the back toes. Again, make sure the feet are turned in, little micro bend on the knees, and then exhale, come into your wide leg, forward fold. Hi there. Super flattering angle for the video. Anyway, few breaths here. Again, you might play with the distance between the feet, but keep hugging the legs back to the center line rather than pressing them away from you. And then slowly bend the knees a little bit. Start to walk your upper body back to the top edge of the mat. Spin your feet to point forward. Plant your hands, step back, flow, or downward facing dog. Adding on. On your inhale, lift your right leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. Wrap the back heel for warrior two. Inhale, come up. One breath. And then reach the upper body forward. Come into side angle pose. Inhale, back up. Straighten the front leg. Spin the front toes to meet the back. Exhale, wide leg forward fold. Bring your left hand to the floor underneath your face. Inhale, reach the right arm up to the sky. Nice windmill twist to the right. Exhale, down. Inhale, the left arm up. Exhale, down. Once more each side. Last one. Good. Bend the knees. Spin the toes to point forward. Walk your upper body back to the top edge of the mat. Plant your hands, step back, flow, or downward facing dog. On your inhale, lift the left leg high. Exhale, step your left foot between your hands. Wrap the back heel for warrior two. Inhale, come up into warrior two. And then exhale, reach the upper body forward. Side angle pose. One breath here. Inhale, come back up, warrior two. Gently straighten the front legs, spin the toes to point forward. Exhale, come into your forward fold. Plant your right hands to the floor underneath your face. Inhale, the left arm up to the sky. And exhale, down. Inhale, the right arm up. Exhale, down. Once more each side. If you're on a different side from me, don't worry about it. Micro bend the knees. Walk the upper body to face the top edge of the mat. Spin your feet, plant your hands, step back, flow, or downward facing dog. Adding on, last time, inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. Wrap the back heel for warrior two. Inhale, come up. Warrior two, one breath here. Exhale, reach the upper body forward, front elbow to knee, top arm wherever it needs to go. One breath here. Inhale, back up, warrior two. Straighten the front leg, spin the toes forward. Inhale here. Exhale, wide leg forward fold. The left hand comes to the floor. Inhale the right arm high. Exhale, fold. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale, fold. Now turn your left toes out, back toes out. Start to send your weight over to the left foot. Skandasana. You might come up onto the heel of that right leg. Make sure you're not jamming that knee open. Maybe you're using your hands for your support. Maybe you're up quite high. Maybe you're down low. Wherever you need to be, this is a great place to bring a block underneath the sit bone. Hey, what do I say? Make sure this knee isn't caving in though. Send it out to the baby toe edge of the foot. One more breath here. All right, inhale back to center. Windmill the hands to the top edge of the mat. Step back, flow, or downward facing dog. All right, inhale the left leg high. Exhale, step the left foot between your hands. Wrap the back heel for warrior two. Inhale, come up. Warrior two, one breath. And then exhale, upper body forward. Come into side angle pose for one breath. Inhale, back up. Straighten the front leg. Spin the toes forward. Inhale here. Exhale, wide leg forward fold. One hand to the floor in front of you. Inhale the other arm up to the sky. And exhale down. Inhale, windmill the other way. And exhale down. And then bend the knees a little bit. Turn those right toes out. Send the hips all the way over to the right. Different side can be a different experience. Maybe the heel is lifted. Maybe it's down. Maybe you're using a block. Or maybe you're up high, right? Go wherever you need to go. Last couple breaths here. Big tension or stretch on the adductors on that extended leg. All right, press yourself back up. Walk the upper body back to the top edge of the mat. Plant your hands. Step back, flow, or downward facing dog. All right, well done, everybody. Bring your knees gently down to the earth. Little wiggle or sway or cat and cow. And then shift your hips on one side. Bring your legs forward. And we'll get a little opening for the chest and shoulders because we did a lot of downward facing dog today. Bring your palms behind you. Fingertips point back. Again, this might be enough as you lift the heart up to the sky. Maybe shift your hips forward. And then wrap the shoulder blades toward each other. Lift the heart up to the sky. My breath rate and heart rate are still quite elevated. Maybe yours are as well. Last couple breaths here. And then gently bend your elbows, shake out your arms. And then you might tuck the tailbone and start to do a Pilates style roll down to the floor, or you can use your hands, but make your way onto your back. Once you're down, hug your knees into your chest and take a little rock from side to side. Let's move into a gentle twist. Bring your right arm out to the side. You might shift your hips right a little bit to start with. Exhale, lower the knees to the left. As gentle or as deep as you need. I'm going super gentle today. You might look along the right arm just to finish off that spiral in the spine. And then inhale, come back to center. Reset the pelvis and spine. Shift your hips left a little bit, maybe. Left arm out to the side. Exhale, release your knees to the right. Again, as gentle or as deep of a twist as you need. And then inhale, return to center. Reset the pelvis and the spine. And then cross your right ankle over top of the left thigh for a figure four stretch. You might stay here, you might start to deepen by bringing a block under that left foot, or you might draw your legs toward you. You don't even have to use your hands if you don't want to. It could be more of an active release. Or you might interlace your hands behind the left thigh. Keep those right toes flexed back toward the shin. Last couple of breaths here. And then gently unwind. Shake it out or release however you need to. And then when you're ready, cross your left ankle over top of the right thigh. Again, this might be enough. Or maybe you deepen it. You could rock a little bit from side to side, or you could be still. You might use your hands behind the right thigh to deepen the stretch. Last breath here. And then unwind your legs, shake them out. Hug your knees toward you. This time take them wide out toward your shoulders or armpits. You might stay here or kick the feet up to the sky for happy baby. You can grab the backs of the thighs or somewhere along the legs, the ankles, or the feet. You might rock a little bit from side to side, or you might choose to be still. And if there's anything else you feel like you need before your rest, a posture or meditation, please feel free to take it. Otherwise, start making your way into your final resting pose. It could be flat on your back, legs bent or straight in Shavasana. You could rest on your side in child's pose or a seated meditation. And there's certainly no rush to find your final resting pose, but once you're there, for 3 breaths, inhale through your nose and exhale, sigh your breath away. 2 more. And then let go of your breath control. Return to your natural breath as much as you can. It can be tricky after doing vinyasa. Notice if you're holding any last muscle gripping or tension. If so, can you let that go as well? And thoughts may come and go. Acknowledge them without judgment, but let them go. Let them drift by you like leaves on the wind. Stay here longer if you can, 5 or 10 minutes. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.